As a waiter/waitress, what was the most interesting snippet of conversation you ever overheard while waiting tables? I once lived in Schaumburg, IL. It was about 25 miles outside of Chicago where I worked. Every morning I'd take the train to downtown. From the train station it was about a 15-minute walk to the office. It was February and the day before we had received a bunch of snow. At home that night, the weather report was warning of some very low temperatures in the morning. So I planned on taking an earlier train into Chicago. The train stopped in Schaumburg around 5:50 a.m., and I was there to catch it. All I can say is damn, it was cold. The train happened to be one of the express ones. Schaumburg was its last stop, then straight into Chicago. The trip, I think, it's been a while, took 40 minutes. I was way early for work, so I decided to grab breakfast. There was a restaurant around Rush St and Huron I thought I'd stop at. By the time I got there, I felt as though I had frostbite on my feet. I'm sitting in a booth eating and enjoying my hot coffee when a homeless man comes in. He stands barely inside trying to get warm. I noticed also he appeared to have gotten the crap beaten out of him. He isn't a bother to anyone, and it's obvious he's extremely cold. I start thinking, what can I do to help? Nothing comes to mind. About 5 minutes go past by when either the owner or the manager addresses the homeless man. I can hear everything, as I was sitting in the second booth. The restaurant person tells the guy he has to buy something or leave. The homeless guy was so polite. I don't remember everything, but this I do. He tells the restaurant person, "Sir, I'm sorry I'm here. But it's so cold outside I just couldn't go any further, I needed to get warm." Well, the restaurant guy says, "Look, that's not my problem. You need to leave and go to the shelter." The homeless guy replies, "But sir, that's my problem. I've been to the last 2 shelters but they were full, the one I'm going to has an opening for me." Then the restaurant guy, being a total a-hole, says, "Well, get out and get a bus or cab or buy something to eat, but you can't just stand here." It's then he said, "Sir, I can't do any of those, I was beaten up last night and everything I had was taken, please just 15 minutes and I'll leave." The restaurant guy then says, "That's it, I don't have time to deal with your sad story, get out." Well, now I'm pissed off. I was thinking, how could you treat another human so poorly? Next, it's obvious he's been through some type of trauma, just look at his face. Lastly, he's not begging or asking for anything other than 15 minutes to get warm before he starts walking again to the shelter. I stood up and went over to the manager. As I said, I was angry. I told the manager something similar to the words I wrote above, but my voice was raised. The manager didn't say anything. I then said, "This gentleman is my guest for the next 2 hours, is there an issue with that?" The answer back was no. As the homeless man and I turned and headed to my booth, the restaurant broke out in applause. I was both stunned and embarrassed. The homeless man sat with me and expressed his appreciation multiple times. I told him to order whatever he wanted. I'm laughing now because he only ordered 2 pieces of toast. I looked at him and asked, "When was the last time you ate?" He said, "The morning previously." I asked, "Aren't you hungry?" "Yes sir, I am, but I should get something at the shelter," he replied. I said, "Okay, then I will order." Placed an order for 3 different breakfast meals. Then gave him 2 tens, one for cab fare and the other for his stolen money. And of course, I paid for his breakfast. As I was about to go, I think it was about 5 different individuals who came up to leave cash on the table for him. Each said a few kind words, then left. He seemed to be a good guy, there wasn't any smell of liquor, life just kicked him down. I can only hope he felt that there are good people around.